Let's talk about what Jesus did when the pressure was on. Hello, I'm Eddie Lawrence, and here's today's devotional thought. In Mark chapter 14, verses 32 and following, Jesus, after having told his disciples they were going to stumble, they all denied that would happen. He is now in the Garden of Gethsemane. Gethsemane is made up of two Hebrew words, which means oil and press. It's the oil press. Like in the olive grove, where the olives would be taken off the trees, put on a huge rock, and then crushed until their oil ran out. This is where Jesus would bear the weight of the world, if you will, as he's on his way to the cross. And I want you to think about it this way. What did Jesus do? Because prophetically, he knew what was coming. He had already told his disciples several times what was about to happen. And he had just got through telling them that they were going to be made to stumble because of him. What did he do? Well, he got along with Father. Interestingly, Mark says Jesus prayed to Abba, Father. In other words, Daddy God, Daddy, Papa. If there's some way that this cup can pass, then let's do that. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what you will. So, first thing he did, he got along with Father God and he poured out his soul. Another thing he did was that he asked his close friends to pray with him. Because the disciples are in Gethsemane, then he takes Peter, James, and John. They go a little farther, and he asks them to pray, lest you enter into temptation. To pray not only with him, maybe for him, but particularly for themselves, because he was telling them it's about to really come down on you as well. So he went to Father God in prayer. He got some friends to pray with him, and then what do we see him doing? Submitting himself to the will of God. Nevertheless, Father, not what I want, but what you want. Not what I will, but what you will. So these are three things we see right away in this passage that should help us when we're under pressure. And by the way, none of us can properly empathize with Jesus concerning what he was going through. He would literally bear the weight of the world, the sins of the whole world on his body. He became sin to die for us. We can't really imagine the depths of what that meant. But what we can see is what he did, knowing that was coming. He went to Daddy God, poured out his heart. He asked his friends to pray for him, and he submitted himself to the will of God. Keep these things in mind if you're under pressure today. Sometimes it's amazing what happens when you feel the pressure, just getting along with God and pouring out your heart. And it's good to have friends that you know are prayer warriors that'll pray with you. Now, Jesus' disciples failed him on that regard as well. But he did ask his friends to pray for him, and he did submit to God's will. Think on these things. Have a blessed day. God bless you.